and welcome back to my channel. So for this video, I'm actually going to change it up. I was originally going to do a bookshelf tour video. I just tried to film it, but then I realised it's probably really boring because you have to already see the books. So I'm actually decided to do something different. I'm actually going to be doing a book review of Midnight Sun by Stephenie Meyer. Now this book, it was a challenge for me to read, let me just say that. I started it in December 28th of 2022 and I finished it yesterday. And normally I'm pretty fast when it comes to books, like I can read them pretty fast, but this one was just so slow. I'm going to tell you about it now. Basically, if you don't know what Midnight Sun is, it is Twilight, so it's the first Twilight book, but it is from Edward's perspective, so we get to see what he is thinking when he first meets Bella, and we get to see what his family thinks of her, and basically we learn more about his past, and we essentially, as I said, Twilight from Bella's perspective. So the scenes are pretty much all the same, but she does add a couple of scenes in here that are unnecessary. I think one of my biggest issues I had with this book was that I liked the story. The pacing was really slow, and the chapters was so long. Each chapter was 20 to 40 pages, which is ridiculous. I thought this was going to be a really easy, super easy read, but I think another issue is that the writing is quite small. So you do have, and also there's a lot of detail, as I said, so you really have to keep an eye on the story, and you really need to, pay attention to be able to keep up with everything that is happening in the story. Essentially, it's a little bit different because we have Edward, who is 17, which we all know he was originally, but this one, I don't remember reading the original Twilight, so some of this I was discovering for the first time, like the fact that Jacob Black, he didn't know that Edward was a vampire. He thought his father was making it up. Obviously his father being Billy Black, he knew that, but Jacob, obviously in this book, he doesn't know that the Cullens are vampires. He was just guessing, and I don't think he knows that he's a werewolf yet either, so I think that happens later. And there's a few things in this book as well that I really didn't like as well. I didn't like the fact that Rosalie, who is Edward's sister, she wasn't very nice. She wasn't very nice to Bella. Which I think she was like that in the movie anyway, but I felt in this book especially, she was a lot more closed and at times very violent and very abusive towards it. I also found it very interesting how she describes how each of the people were made, and how Emmett was discovered into the family, how Rosalie had been having a crush on him, and he was attacked by a bear, so a whole thing. So I wasn't a huge fan of that, but I also didn't really like the fact as well that throughout the book she makes this kind of metaphor of Edward's and Bella's life being pomegranate seeds. As you can see, we've got the pomegranate on the front. I wasn't a massive fan of that, but I just didn't really like. I just didn't really like that. And there were a few points in the story that I considered DNFing the book, and if you don't know what that means, it means did not finish. There were quite a few points in here where I felt like I wanted to DNF the book because the pacing was just so slow and the story was just going on forever and ever, and there were so many unnecessary scenes, plus the fact that it is almost 800 pages. I think it ended up being 756 pages, which is ridiculous and too long for a book. Although in saying that, I do have two books on my shelf that are I've got one book that's 830 and then another book that is 906. So, I don't know. So, I mean, But I have this and it was just, I didn't really like it, as I said. story was great, but I think you're probably better off just sticking to the original Twilight, because that one, the pacing's just faster, and you know, it gets through the story a lot quicker. It doesn't put in all these unnecessary scenes. And I think I ended up rating this book a 3.5 stars out of 5. It would have been 4 stars, but as I said, the pacing was just so slow. So yeah. Okay, with that, thank you guys for watching this video. I know it was a very short one today, but I didn't really have a video idea, so this was kind of like a last minute one. I will be posting some more in the near future. I'm going to try and redo my makeup collection video, and then I'll post that for you. I tried to film that the other week, and then my phone died. So I'll try to post that for you soon. But yes, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.